I know a lot of you. I am a director and co-founder of People's Defense Initiative. I saw a lot of you at our kickoff. Thank you so much for coming. People's Defense Initiative has taken on a goal of building a multi-year campaign for a Tucson where everyone can thrive. We decided that our first step was going to be to tackle the very basics. We can't build a Tucson where everyone can thrive if the most vulnerable are still in danger. So we have put out Tucson Families Free and Together initiative, which some of you signed. If you haven't signed that, please do sign it. You do have to be a Tucson resident. We are gathering 9,241 signatures to get on the November 2019 ballot. This is completely people-led, so a lot of what you're discussing here, we're actually putting into action. We've been asking local city officials to make Tucson a sanctuary city for many years. We have finally decided to just take that task on ourselves. We have basically taken the general orders that they have in place, we've made them much better, we've added a lot of teeth to it, and we're hoping that, we're actually quite sure that Tucson will overwhelmingly support this. That is what we have seen thus far. I know that some of us are a little bit afraid to use the term sanctuary city. But that is exactly what we're out here to do, is really take back that narrative and say, no, it is not controversial to protect people that are undocumented. No, it is not controversial to say that we are not going to take part in the deportation machine, especially with the administration that we have in place. That's right. So we've all seen the horrible things that have been going on in the past few years when it comes to migrants' rights, families being torn apart. And I do want to just emphasize that it would be very irresponsible of us to think that this does not happen in Tucson. I can tell you that it does, and it happens often. Again, Tucson electeds have done a very good job, so has Tucson Police Department. We just want to make it better. We just want to really take a stand as Tucson to say that we are a sanctuary city, that we will not be intimidated into bending over backwards and not standing up for the most vulnerable in our community because we're under threat from the Arizona legislature, and most definitely we will not bend to the fits of our hateful president. And that is what we're doing. If you'd like to take any petitions with you, we have some back there. I'm going to hand it over to Billy, who will explain more of the details of our initiative.
I have 1 minute. In short, here in April we're going to be coming up on the 9-year anniversary of SB 1070. And I think it's important not to forget that we are still, if you had asked me 9 years ago, fast forward 9 years, Billy, and you're going to still have to contend with, on a daily basis, with the details of SB 1070, I said, no, you're crazy. We're going to kill that thing before 9 years is out. I was wrong. We're still living with a large portion of that law on a day-to-day basis. This, and I think it's part of this is the recognition that under the current regime in Phoenix, we're not likely to overturn it any time in the near future. I mean, hopefully I'm wrong by that count, but I think the reality is it's here to stay for a while. So this initiative here locally in Tucson, as Saida said, is to take back the narrative and also take back the law. To say we can't overturn, as a city, we can't overturn a state law. We understand that. But we can limit it and render it as ineffective as we possibly can here locally without crossing the line, without breaking the law overtly, without forcing our police officers to do something that's contrary to SB 1070, but still limiting what TPD officers and other city employees can do to the maximum extent possible within the confines of SB 1070 and other state laws. So we're pushing the envelope, we're going to push it to the very edge without going over the line, so to speak. That's essentially legally what this proposal would accomplish if it passes in November.
Thank you.